calling the business vamp and like Phil because a fight is shitty. He and that entire crew, they are the most uncompelling human beings to hear talk about, and they talk about random shit. They were, it's like us going off topic. I mean, it's like a serious case of ADD of like, oh, what'd you eat this afternoon, Paulie? What? Why are we talking about what you ate this afternoon? That's fascinating to me. Beyond that, it's just a typical PBC formula. And here's the other thing that's really clear to me. The PBC shits on Showtime. Like a Showtime Saturday night card is by far shittier than the Fox cards. And I will say this, under kind of my review, I think fighters fight harder on Fox than they do on Showtime.
Huh. Pretty cool, interesting
well,
observation.
If you look at the last Fox card, it was just a shitty, right? Technically, on paper, the last Fox card was a shitstorm, right? But those fighters all fought pretty hard, which made it a fairly entertaining evening on Fox.
It could be true. You got to remember, the PBC opened up by saying with fights being on free television, they would get more viewerships, meaning bigger fan bases. So maybe the guys take the opportunity when they're hearing the ghost whisper of boxing. Is that what we used to call Al Heyman?
Again, how is Al Heyman not in LA at this fight? What the fuck is up with a dude who does not exist? Like, when is somebody going to call bullshit on this Al Heyman thing? How can he be literally so unseen?
Well,
I'm just completely fascinated by his lack of I'm waiting.
I have nothing for it. Lee just doesn't attend. I mean, he might not even be a fan of boxing. He's just
probably not. He's busy with his Ponzi scheme that's called the PBC, allegedly. When it does become
and he has another match. Fortuna had a split decision against Robert Easter Jr. Robert Easter Jr. was ringside last night with Adrian Broner, if anyone's seen that. So don't be surprised if you see a rematch between them two for another PBC Showtime fight, and it'll take both fighters absolutely nowhere but another fight in this PBC stable.
I agree with that sentence completely. Yeah. After the fight, because of course this was a Floyd Mayweather secret backdoor promoted event, my favorite. Here it is, PBC formula in a nutshell on Fight Hub TV. You can go check it out on YouTube. Gervonta and Floyd taking questions. Fight Hub talks to them. And what does Tank and Floyd think? Oh, we're ready for Lomachenko. You are you? Again, a fight that you can't make. Like, they can't make this fight, Andrew. It's not a real fight.
And if he was ready for Lomachenko, I think that he would be fighting a fighter like Fortuna or Easter Jr. next, right? Because they're in the same division. So why would Mayweather and Al Heyman allow their guy to fight the best if he could still fight PBC guys before he got there? So I have no faith that these guys have any desire to fight Lomachenko. This kid is young. Gervonta Davis is still a young man. We know Floyd. He strings it out as long as he can. He's not going to put him in the ring with Lomachenko when he's 30. I believe Chenko's 33, 34 right now. Well, why not wait 2 more years when he's 36? Boom, then we'll fight him when Gervonta Davis is in his dead prime. I do not see this fight happening anytime soon.
Which takes us to the next crazy Floyd revelation.
Sad.
That he's going to fight Tenshin Nasukawa. Again, shout out to Hoop Jab Boxing for getting this little piece and getting this little nugget out of this crazy moment. Floyd having Gervonta fight Tenshin in April, because that's what the reports are saying.
Look at Davis' face.
Davis is really trying not to laugh out loud because it's so fucking ridiculous.
Doesn't look impressed with his promoter though. Look, he really doesn't. Looks away again. It's a stupid fight. It's a fight. Look at these guys are very in tune to social media, into the boxing chat rooms. They get comments all the time unless they're blocking them. Floyd can't make this guy a circus show. Floyd's a circus right now because he can be. Gervonta Davis can't turn into this guy. What's next? He's going to have him fight in the octagon or going to fight a UFC fighter inside the ring? I mean, I hope Floyd, this isn't where he wants to go with his promotional company.
Reports that Khabib Nurmagomedov
yes,
to box
I've
next.
seen that. Yes, I seen that. They said he actually got a license, didn't he?
Gervonta Davis versus Khabib Nurmagomedov.
I seen that. It's just another sign too that the UFC is not paying their fighters enough money. That man has no business being in a boxing ring. His ears prove that. He is a ground and pound guy. He needs to stick to his ground and pound method over there in the octagon. He comes to boxing, he will get the same fate that Conor McGregor did, and that's his end to his career.
There you go. That takes us to the wonderful world of boxing. Again, if you want to watch the full video with the clips and everything that we were watching, go to FNR Rocks, FNR.ROCKS, or go to fightnetradio.com. Join and Lee, part of the discussion. Yeah.
And Lee, they're did you hear who they're rumored to be going after? Medov or whatever? Manny fucking Pacquiao. You want
why not get a payday?
You want the movement of Manny Pacquiao in with the ground guy. What do you call Magomedov? What is he, a ground grappler? Is he what is he?
No, he's a sambo wrestler, dude. Look, there are things with grappling that I don't screw with. Sambo wrestlers and judo people.
I know, but I get all that. But in the boxing ring, fuck all that shit.
Yeah, no. I agree. He can't pick him up. He can't clutch him. He can't pick him up and punch him down. I get all that.
Manny would run circles around it, right, left, right, back, forth. I mean, it'd be stupid. Like, this guy wouldn't even know what hit him. This is even Floyd.
But it's a $50 million payday.
I hear you on that, but geez, he has no business there.
Look,
he has no
what's
business
the difference?
There. And just like,
hey, what's the difference in somebody trying to get a $50 million payday and being Gervonta Davis? Like, if Gervonta was a man, he would have signed with Top Rank or with somebody that would have made real fights for him, right? I can go down the list. I think Oscar would make real fights for him. I think Bob would make real fights. I think Main Events would make real fights. But PBC does not make real fights. Mayweather Promotions does not make real fights. They pad records and they get paid because it's all part of their alleged Ponzi scheme that they're running. Right? Which is pad their records, make them fight each other, keep the titles in-house. They're like a bizarre monopoly of taking the average boxing fan and turning them into an ATM.
Ishii Smith is worth $3 million. How about that?
That's a shocking stat.
Hey, that's why they signed, Lee. You know, you might not be a legend.
And Gervonta signed for the same reason.
Yes, you might not be remembered, right? But hey, at least you got paid. And at the end, that's what these men have turned into. They're businessmen right now in the PBC. They're not prize fighters. They're not looking to be the next Muhammad Ali or the next Sugar Ray Leonard or the next Oscar De La Hoya, Roy Jones Jr., Evander Holt. None of these guys. None of them. These guys took on the best. They unified. They multiple title defenses, multiple pay-per-view events.
And the best example of that is Mikey Garcia, right? If Mikey Garcia somehow magically pulls that win out of his ass,
he will be a huge star.
Huge, epic star would be the word I'd use. I mean, like, you couldn't. Every fight
until he fights Terrence Crawford, he will not be that guy. Terrence Crawford has been a thorn in Mikey Garcia's side his whole career, and I'll tell you why. Mikey was bigger than Terrence when he backed away from that fight. Okay, Mikey was supposed to be the future when Top Rank was trying to get those fights together. He didn't want any part of them.
Which is why you all look. Everybody in the PBC calls out two fighters consistently. I'll fight Crawford. I'll fight Lomachenko.
Right.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I'm ready anytime. Just put Fortuna. You can just insert any name. Gervonta Davis. I'm ready for Lomachenko. Really, cowboy?
I'm going to tell you this too, Lee. Good segue. The kid we just talked about, undefeated San Antonio, Mario Barrios, he's in a division that has no champions, the legit champions under any PBC stable. You've got Maurice Hooker, who's been fighting with Dazin lately, Progras and Ramirez. Those are ESPN. Those are Dazin fighters. And then you have Josh Taylor, who fights over across the pond. None of these guys are in the PBC stable for Mario Barrios. So that's going to be big for his future. Will he be moving up to the 147 division? And let me tell you, him versus Spence could be a huge fight, both out of Texas, correct? Him versus Mikey Garcia, huge fight. Texas versus LA, Mexican Americans going up against each other. So they have a future with this welterweight division. We'll see how Al Heyman plays it, though. This is a guy, remember, people, he don't really like giving your fights back to back. He might stretch them out for 6 fucking years.
We're going to cover news now. Go to fightnetradio.com. Go to FNR
Hey,
Rocks.
Lee, how about this? Could you imagine the fights with those 3 men? Hey, dude, Ramirez, Progras, Barrios, Spence, and Garcia. Could you imagine if they were with a company like Golden Boy and Top Rank, who actually gave us the matchups you want to see when they have the fighters willing to sign the damn contract? Remember who Triple G is. Remember who Lomachenko is. Remember who's the cruiserweight, Usyk. Remember who.
But again, follow the PBC model. You don't challenge people.
And then the number one. Remember Canelo. Remember Canelo.
You and I live in a world where the only way to get a fight with a PBC fighter, if you're Bob or Oscar or that whore over at alleged whore over at main events.
I'll tell you, though, Lee, we have a sign of hope because of Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs went against the grain over there in the PBC, and he scored his fight with Canelo. PBC Al Heyman managed fighter is fighting Saul Alvarez because
no. I get that. You have to force him in, like you physically have to force him in. Oscar's a little more lenient. Bob is not doing any business with the PBC unless he's stealing a title from him. I still gotta believe that if the fighter's willing, Bob puts that fight together. We did see Mayweather Pacquiao get done once both fighters were willing to do it. So I gotta say, go ahead.
I'm not doing shit with those people.
No,
you know what? I've never met Al Heyman. Have you?
I know, Bob. You think he's a fictional character now, but I believe if the fighter's willing. As long as they are not asking for $50 million, Bob Arum makes that fight. Come on, don't lie, Bob.
Go to fightnetradio.com, FNR Rocks. We will cover some news.
He didn't agree with me at all. He left. He didn't even agree with me. It's terrible.
He'll be back. He'll be back shortly. We get all our news, as you saw previously, from boxingscene.com. Follow them on Facebook. That's a good plug for them. Good. We use them a lot. Let's start off with our first news story of the day. Tonight in Fresno, and we'll get into this in greater detail when we go through the boxing schedule, Jose Ramirez takes on Jose Zepeda, ready for the war to settle the score in Fresno.
Andrew, I'm back. Is this not the best fight card ever? I mean, seriously. This thing is so good that I read the press release myself. I mean, really. It's just, there's nothing I could say about this that, it's great.
Jose Ramirez has looked like he's been an exciting fighter every time he's in the ring. The fans like him, right? They like his style. He packs the house in Fresno. He's got a fighter with the record of 31-25, Jose Zepeda.
Andrew, I'm catering today for the press. Think that'll get people to drive in the rain to fucking Fresno? I'm not going. I mean, fuck that. I'm not going to Fresno. I'm going to send my double in and I'm going to bang hookers.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I sound more like a penguin?
86, going strong. Jose Zepeda is ranked 10th right now.
I know how I do that.
Oh, my God.
I know my secret.
What's that?
Have you seen that commercial with that black athlete, Bo Jackson?